Greetings, NFT Vikings. I'm CardanoThor, helping you explore, nay, conquer the digital space of NFTs. And it's time for another CNFT Brew, where we round up the latest CNFT news and check out some of the most exciting drops happening this week. Let's go.
Good, I interest you in NFTs all of the time. FOMO into NFTs all of the time. Modesties a tragedy and ruffles are a crime. FOMO into NFTs, yeah, FOMO into NFTs, yeah, FOMO into NFTs all of the time.
So these past couple of weeks have not been a good time. I've had COVID, the market is going to crap, a little bit depressing, but fear not, today we're actually gonna take a look at some positive news, some exciting upcoming drops, and as you know, I'm bullish on Cardano and NFTs in the long run. So if you are too, then now is the time to be buying, now is the time to stick around, because you will be rewarded when we hit that mania phase and that bullish period again in the future. Just the fact that you're watching this CNFT video right now makes you a winner. Yes, it makes you a nerd. Welcome to the club. But yeah, you're doing the right thing, sticking around. Congrats. But before we jump in, you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button. We're almost at that 2K mark. That's crazy. I appreciate you guys. And if you do want to become a CNFT Viking, check out the Viking Squad Discord, link in the description. Now let's dive right in. As you guys know, I am going through my newsletter, my CNFT Brew. If you're not subscribed, you can find the link in the description or on my Twitter profile. In this video, we'll be covering the news section and the upcoming drops, but there's some more info in here, including market analysis, stuff like that, if you're interested. So let's dive right in. The highlights: Clay Nation and Charles Hoskinson. They got a little shout out from Snoop Dogg and Champ themselves, which is pretty cool, in their latest album, Death Row Summer 2022. You can hop onto Spotify and listen to it right now, I believe. So I love to see how this collab between Clay Nation and these two is more than just, you know, for appearances. They're actually creating cool content, and they have an actual collaboration in real life. And holders of Bake Nation, they will get commercial ownership of one of 3 original tracks released this year. So if you are still holding on to a Bake Nation plot, congrats, that's something to look forward to. Next, we have Charles Hoskinson being invited by the US Congress Committee of Agriculture to talk about blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Charles representing, always getting the word out there, educating, love to see that. As we know, the US is an absolute disaster when it comes to regulating the crypto space in general, and NFTs, don't get me started on that. But this could be a big deal because they are still trying to figure this out as a country, as regulators. If ADA can't be treated as an ancillary asset instead of a commodity, that would be huge. So this is going to be live on YouTube at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow, Thursday. And something that didn't make it into the brew this week because it came out literally 2 minutes after I sent the newsletter, is that the Vasil hard fork was delayed. I believe it was delayed about a month, and this is just to allow for some additional testing. But the community was super understanding, but we also appreciate that Cardano is all about doing things well and correctly instead of rushing things, and it's been working out pretty well so far. Now, if you've been following the markets at all, you might have seen Equine volume spike. Both floor price and volume has gone up significantly after the team released a pretty cool UI kind of sneak peek, which had a lot of people excited. So people, you know, they are building their stables, they are getting excited to race these horses, and I personally took profits on one of mine for over 2,000 ADA. You know, I can also see myself buying again once the hype dies down. It's always a risk. These could continue to go up because it's a great project led by Fahad Dukan. Shout out to Fahad Dukan. So yeah, lots of excitement around Equine. ADA Army, they sent out literal ADA payments to collectors. These are the rewards if you minted an ADA Army. I believe I got 15 ADA. I was wondering why I got 15 ADA randomly, but that was for holding some ADA Army NFTs. This is the same team that is behind Peppermint. Part of the profits go to ADA Army minters, not holders. If you buy one right now, it's not going to get you rewards. It's only if you minted some. So one of the whales got a pleasant surprise of getting 438 ADA just for minting the ADA Army. And then some cool updates from Dirtbirds. They just dropped their light paper. If you haven't read it, I suggest you give it a read because they are detailing how the DERP token is going to work and just general utility for the DERP token. And this is an OG project. They've been here a long time, and somehow they keep creating, they keep building, and they have stayed relevant throughout all of this time, which is difficult in the NFT space. So huge shout out to the DERP team. I really like the direction they are going. Now, Eikonikos, they obviously had a pretty disappointing drop, not selling out, not selling nearly as many Genesis passports as they wanted, but they remain committed. They held an AMA a couple of days ago on Twitter with Mint City, which is their minting provider. And they were basically confirming what we already know, and that they are staying committed to the project. They already have the funding, so they are just going to continue to execute on the roadmap. And they dropped some little informational nuggets here and there, including that they're working with a big global designer for their clothing drop, and that they will be rewarding collectors. If you have collected all tiers of the passports, you're going to get even better benefits than just holding one passport. And as I was writing this, I saw an 8K sale come through. So there's definitely still some interest there. The floor price is well below mint price. So if you are looking to get into the project, not financial advice, but it might be a decent time right now. Next, we have Ran Nooner, probably butchering his pronunciation, but he was in the line of fire from the Cardano community again, and even Charles himself when he was hosting a YouTube live where one of his guests called Charles a priest and Cardano a religion. There's always some rivalry going on, somebody offending somebody. And just like Equine, you might have noticed that the Bajuzki Studios vampires, they were so hot this week. Volume spiked, floor price went up to 50 ADA, I believe, and I think this was the result of them announcing their next Burn to Mint collab with Disco Solaris. The last one was with ADA Ninjas, and I got 5 of them. Pretty happy with them, look great. I probably wouldn't have burnt 10 vampires if I knew that they had Disco Solaris coming up, but you live and you learn, can't win them all. I really like the look of these. I just bought my first Disco Solaris, more on that later. So I think these look great. I think it's a cool idea with this Burn to Mint collab. There are only going to be 500 of them. The Ninjas had a 1K supply. Next, we have Lunatics, a project that I want to shout out for taking an alternative approach to marketing. Let's put it that way. They're certainly kind of standing out from the crowd. They created these cool PFPs for Faha and DZ. I'd surely be minting if they had a Viking in there, but that's another story. Finally, we have the hashtag BurnBAYC trending on Twitter. This is following a YouTube documentary covering the growing conspiracy theory about the founder's alleged alt-right internet trolling. So the documentary is basically calling the Bored Ape Yacht Club creators Nazis. Soon after, we saw Jimmy Fallon removing his PFP, and I think Steph Curry as well. So is that a coincidence? I don't know. At least plenty of FUD people talking about this on Twitter. Do your own research. Keep in mind, this is a conspiracy theory. We know how susceptible humans are to conspiracy theories. If it's nothing more than that, there are at least some pretty interesting coincidences, to say the least. That's it for the top CNFT news. If you think there's something that I'm missing, which I probably am, let me know in the comments. Now on to what probably most of you are here for, and that is when mint and what mint, I guess. And in this case, we're going to start with the Deadly Sins, a collection of 6,666 demon-like characters made up from a bunch of different traits. So they should have a nice variety here. And they do have plans to create, I don't want to use the word metaverse. They might use it, I can't remember, but I would call it a virtual space where you can hang out with your NFT and play interactive games in the future. And this is tomorrow, Thursday, at 8 p.m. UTC, 66 ADA, 6,066. Like I said, they seem to be gaining some steam with almost 3,000 followers on Twitter, over 9,000 Discord members, maybe some bots, I don't know. Do your own research there. Yeah, so that's happening on Thursday. Then we have Tet Nation, a project that popped up on my radar this week. Just hanging out in the CNFT Viking Squad server. Jump in there if you want to talk CNFTs all day and get people's opinions on all these different projects. Yeah, Tet Nation, obviously inspired by the Tet film franchise. So if you're super worried about, intellectual property rights and stuff like that, you might want to stay away. But seems like most projects in the NFT space are not really worried about that at this point. The project aims to revolutionize CNFTs through great art, outstanding love, cross-chain utility, and real-life benefits. I don't know exactly what that means, but I've talked to the creators a little bit. They seem to have pretty cool ideas. 5,555 quantity for 99 ADA each. And this is on Sunday for the whitelist, 4 p.m. and public at 6 p.m. Like I said, I talked to these guys and I might actually have them on my stream on Friday. So if you want to learn even more about the project, hop on to Twitch on Friday, 6 p.m. UTC. And then we have Dracano. Speaking of Twitch, you can check out my interview with them last Friday on my Twitch channel. This is definitely one of my personal favorites. You can see why. Great art. The art quality is fantastic. It's unique in the sense that it's all female characters. It's going to have this landscape photo and the PFP crop for each NFT. And I just think they're beautiful. The artist has been creating, it's a part of the Dracano universe, if you will. So it's very lore rich. And yeah, just jump into the Discord, read more about it. I think the quality of the NFT should draw you in, but then there's a lot more to love once you're in there, including the community itself. So this is going to be on Monday at 6 a.m. if you are on the whitelist, and Tuesday at 10 a.m. for public, 99 ADA each, only 999. And last but not least, if you're like me, you're a fan of Block Owls, they have a Season 3 drop next Tuesday. So the mint is only available if you hold and verify your wallet, so RIP me, but I do hold, but I never verify. I never remember to verify to get on a whitelist. But you can if you are more organized than me and have a better brain. So unfortunately, I got the this section right here wrong in the newsletter, so ignore that. It's actually to be decided. Last time I checked, I wasn't sure when the drop was going to be on Tuesday. If you know, let me know in the comments. There are only going to be 1,423, and like I said, whitelist only on the 28th, which is a Tuesday. And then I added a few projects to my CNFT Radar. These are projects that I'm not minting this week, but they are exciting to me, and I want to keep an eye on them because I think they have some potential. Starting with Wild Tangz, and they are actually the exception to the rule because they are minting right now. I put them on here because I had never really heard of them until this week, and I didn't even have a chance to put them on my upcoming mint section. So they're on here. I want to follow and see how their minting goes because I think they have some cool ideas. Holders get fee-free mint services, and they have some other cool utility. Then we have the Fluffies. This is a project that's been kind of gaining in steam, seeing more and more followers every day on their account. The artwork looks pretty cool, and I've actually seen some animations as well. Yeah, there's one. And here's one. I think it looks quality. Somebody pointed out that they have a lot of Chilled Kongs followers already. So I think the community is noticing them and they are worth keeping an eye on. Next, we have JetplaneDAO. DAOs, yes, I feel like that kind of fad is kind of over, but that can be a good thing because now you can get into a quality DAO, not just for the hype. So this project is unique in the sense that they are not an investment fund per se. They are going to be a launchpad for Web3 projects. And that, makes it unique. And hopefully, as I understand it, it's going to provide funding for Web3 projects to build something of value on Cardano. So that's it for the upcoming mints and what's new on my radar. Let me know what I forgot in the comments. What are you looking forward to the most? This has been a pretty difficult period, right? Living through a bear market is never easy. But like I said, if you stick through it, you're probably going to be rewarded if history has taught us anything. So now I'm going to jump in and tell you a little bit about what I have been doing as an investor. So as I've said in previous videos, I'm being very careful with my ADA, but I'm also realizing that now is a good time to get good deals on quality projects. This is what I tweeted about just yesterday. Some of the NFTs that I've been buying for what feels like a huge discount. I have been minting very few projects. Melting Moonboy probably stands out. I minted 6 Melting Moonboys. I probably should have minted more, but it's easy to say in hindsight because they're doing pretty well on the secondary market, and I do like the look of them and what they're about. So I minted 6. I took profits on 4 of them. I think I've sold my 4 for, I don't know, 700 ADA, 800 ADA or so, but I kept the 2 most rare ones, including this blue. Let me know if you got into Melting Moonboys and what your strategy with that project is. But mostly I've been going back to older projects that are already established. Aeonium Sky, I've been going on a little Aeonium Sky shopping spree, buying blocks and some of his cheaper artwork. I mean, if you can get an Aeonium Sky NFT for 8 ADA, you know, it's a no-brainer to me. So I've been doing some of that. Bought my first Disco Solaris. It's a project I've been admiring from a distance for a while. I bought one to give away. I think it cost me 120 ADA or something to buy at the time. Do I regret giving it away? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But happy to finally have one for myself. I bought it for 450 ADA, I believe. Maybe a little bit above that. It's a project that's here to stay. Quality. I missed that first pump, but they've been stable. They've been stabilized and holding at that 450 ADA mark for a long time. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another pump here in the next couple of months. Cabins I wrote about. I think it's an investment opportunity by the Ape Society. Shout out to Chronic, who kind of filled me in on that project. He's a big Ape Society investor and fan. Had him on my stream the other day. So staking is going to go live soon. So I picked up an estate before that happens. Then I've been buying a couple of Atavis Devils. I picked them as my underrated, undervalued project a couple of weeks ago in my newsletter for a reason, and they have been slowly rising in value. So I'm up to 4 now. Parapanes is another one I'm looking forward to. The reveal sometime in the next week or two. Looking at past projects and getting into projects that I think are less risky. So I'm definitely being more careful with my ADA. I'm taking some profits. If there is a pump, I'm taking some profits, but it isn't the best time to be taking profits, to be honest. So I'm trying to get some high value, low-ish risk relatively CNFTs that I can take profits on down the line. Let me know what you're doing these days. Like I said, I hope you're doing well. Hope you weren't over leveraged and are able to get through this bear market, because I certainly am going to be here. So we can kind of cry on each other's shoulder, if you will. If you are DCAing into some more ADA, which might be a good idea, financial advice, but it is pretty cheap these days, you might want to stake it. And I wanted to shout out the sponsor, one of the sponsors of this video, QueenAda.com. Queen Ada Staking, great stake pool. I know the stake pool operator, great guy, good rewards, low fees. Check him out. And of course, CNFT Jungle. Shout out to Zata and Ann Mellon behind CNFT Jungle. It is the only place that you need to use to find any info on Cardano NFTs, all the CNFT projects in one place. You got analytics tools, they have their sniping extension, basically anything you need to know and any tool you need for CNFTs, you can get them at cnftjungle.io. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next brew.